we go. Let's go live. Let's go, Dave. Waiting on Sunday sports talk before everybody hits their football games for the day. We're going to talk some Leepa Live Sports. Exciting game on Friday. Our Thursday's game was an exciting, high-scoring game. And if you didn't see that coming, I did. That was an exciting, high-scoring game with some quarterbacks launching the ball out. Chris is holding down the Tampa Bay studios. I'm over here in Michigan where it got a little brisk this morning. Chris, how's it going in the Tampa Bay studios?
Sunny and hot like always, baby.
Yeah, nice.
It's hot. It's hot in the studio. It's hot outside. It's a great day for football, like any other Sunday.
Yeah, I hear you with that. It's a great day for football if you're living up in the north too, because I tell you what, it's brisk up here, so it's going to be nice for anybody that's playing in some of these northern where that heat finally broke. So, Chris, how'd you like that Thursday night football game?
Jared Goff is for real, man. What a game that guy had. 5 touchdowns, 465 yards of passing. We're 4 weeks into week 4 right now, and we have no idea who's going to be the MVP of this league. There's so many players that are there, Mahomes. I'd even put Fitzpatrick in it right now, Goff, Aaron Rodgers is going to be there. Matt Ryan's going to be there. Todd Gurley's going to be in that conversation. I mean, they're using Gurley right now is sometimes he's receiving the passes, and sometimes he's just run left, run right, run middle, and they're getting the job done. The only team in the NFC that's 4-0.
Yeah, for now, they are. You're right. And I'll tell you what, when you really look, we got our caller, Rocco, that he does the fantasy. He's big on the fantasy. I got one of my audios playing here. Sorry about that, guys. But, Rocco's big on the fantasy, and he actually benched Gurley. He thought that Minnesota defense was going to show up. They didn't show up. So as far as fantasy goes, wow, that was a big one for him. But as a matter of fact, Gurley did show up in that game. And, wow, did he show up with 5 touchdowns. And his completion percentage, wow. Did you check that out, Chris?
Yeah. You talk about that Vikings defense with Gurley, not starting Gurley because of it. That probably wasn't a bad idea, going into the game. But after the game, you regret it for sure. I had somebody in my league not start Goff because he was going against the Vikings defense. So you got to feel worse for that guy. But you look at Minnesota.
That's what he did.
No, Goff, not Gurley. I thought you said Gurley.
All right. I misspoke it then.
You might have said Goff. I don't pay attention.
Yeah. He did the same exact thing.
Yeah, you look at that Minnesota D, and everybody's so high on their D, and it's a good defense. But 2 weeks ago against Buffalo scored 28 points in the first half. This week against the Rams, where you expect them to be able to score 28 points in the half, they do. Minnesota's one of those teams where they need to keep teams under 28 points in the full game, let alone the full, just the first half. So Minnesota was, I think, my team to win the North there, and they're not looking too good. I mean, they're losing to good teams though, with the exception of Buffalo, but they're just not where they need to be yet. I guess when you bring in a new quarterback like that, I guess those are the struggles you're going to have at the beginning of the season.
Well, here's the problem. Part of what I see. Number one, okay, Goff. You're right. You said it. He's the real deal. He went 26 for 33 for 465 yards and 5 touchdowns. Wow. It's pretty hard to lose a game when you're like that. But here's the problem here. Cousins threw for 422 yards, 3 touchdowns. But the leading rusher for the Vikings was Cousins. 4 rushes for 28 yards. Okay? Cook had 10 rushes for 20 yards. You're not going to win like that. You're just not going to.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, we talked about that with Cam Newton leading the rushing for Carolina the other last week when we talked about that. It's the same thing. You cannot have your quarterback leading your team in rushing. You know, the Vikings were in it at the end though. They held them out. They held them out of the end zone and field goals in the fourth quarter, and you know, except they just the that Rams defense just got to them at the last and created that fumble.
Right. Yep. It was a good game, man. It was an exciting game. I love watching the games like that, especially when you start seeing the shootout like that. Now, Cousins went 36 for 50. He wasn't quite on key as much as Goff was, but the difference, like I say, again, you know, you had Gurley that had 17 carries for 83 yards. I mean, it's a difference maker, you know. With all that passing going on, and you still had a running back with 17 carries and 83 yards, that's keeping the defense on their toes, and that's going to be a difference maker, you know.
And with that, Gurley also had 4 receptions for what 20 for another 73 yards. So I mean, he was a workhorse for them getting those 21 touches. But then again, you look at Minnesota's offense. Thielen had 8 receptions for 135. Diggs had 11 for 123. Your tight end had 5 for 57, and Kyle Rudolph. So Cousins is distributing the ball there, which is good. So, you know, it'll be interesting to see if Minnesota can come back from this 1-2-1 start. It's so weird saying 1-2-1. I'm not a big fan of ties in the NFL.
Yeah. It looks like we might have Rocco in on the show here a little bit later. He did show his face here a little while ago, you know, and we were strumming the guitars late last night doing our pre-game session. So we really had a good one going on last night. I'll tell you that. A lot of fun over here at the Primo house.
Very cool. Very cool. Tell Rocco I said hi if you see him.
Yep. Rocco, Chris says hello. He says, hey, Chris, in the far distant background.
I still don't want to talk until we're on to Miami.
Okay. We're on to Miami.
So,
you mean you're gonna want to talk to him when we hit the Miami game?
No, I don't want to talk about that game last week.
Oh, I got you. All right. Well, hey, let's run down some games, Chris. I'm gonna go ahead and let you pick the next game we're gonna run down, or do you want to just run through all the games real quick?
No, let's run through a couple games and then go through our picks in a little bit. You know, this Bengals Indy or the Bengals Falcons game. This is the most exciting game for me, other than I'll say it's the most exciting game that I'm looking forward to this week. I really like what the Bengals are doing with Dalton and AJ Green. They do need Mixon back, but Atlanta, man, I think they're a team to beat, and they're 1-2. I like all these 1-2 teams, 0-3 teams, and it's usually I'm not like that. I'm not you jump on the fans, like everybody's on the Bucks because they're winning, but I'm looking at some of these 1-2 teams, 2-1 teams going. Do they have what it takes to make it to the playoffs and make a run in the playoffs? And I really feel Atlanta has that. They lost to Philly, then they beat Carolina in their division, then they lost to who did they play last week? New Orleans? Yeah, they lost to New Orleans.
Yep.
Was it New Orleans or yeah, it was New Orleans last week. Where Breeze had that phenomenal game in the last quarter.
Right.
I'm really high on Matty Ice and this Calvin Ridley guy. I told you about him 2 weeks ago, where you're going to see him get a lot of passes because they'll be double teaming Julio Jones and Hooper, the tight end there, and he's getting it. I mean, he had I think 3 touchdowns last week, so they're tough. They're one of those offenses that can put up points on you, and if their defense can get straightened out, they're going to be a good team. But you look at that division, and those teams are. You're not going to have a 14-2 team or a 12-4 team. You're going to have a team win that division at 9-7, maybe even 8-8, because they're going to beat up on each other. I see that whole division splitting each game with the teams they play.
Yeah, it's a tough division for sure. We talked about the Atlanta Falcons earlier in the season and the takeoff of last year, and it's exactly what's happening with the Julio Jones. Julio Jones is leading the receivers in yards. He's got 329 yards. He's averaging 16.5, but he's got 0 touchdowns. It's exactly the problem they faced last year. How did they fix that problem? They fixed that problem using him as a diversion, and then you got Calvin Ridley that's got 4 touchdowns. So, yeah. And so look out for what's getting ready to happen, what I think is going to happen with Julio Jones. You can't really be doubling Julio Jones when Calvin Ridley starts catching the ball in the end zone. You got
you'll see. What I'm hoping is you'll see both those players go back and forth. Where 1 week Ridley will see the ball a lot more because Julio's getting double teamed, and then somebody will stick on Calvin Ridley, and Julio will get more balls. I mean, Julio's catching balls like a madman anyhow. He's just not getting into the end zone.
Gotcha. Yeah. So that's going to be an exciting game, and the red rifle, is that what they're calling him?
I thought they were calling him Johnny's twin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the red rifle. They're coming off that loss to the Panthers, where McCaffrey had 184 yards rushing against them, and then I forget how many yards passing or receiving he had too. But Tevin Coleman's coming back, and he's no McCaffrey, so Freeman's not going to be back yet. So Tevin Coleman won't put up the numbers that McCaffrey did. So the Cincy D is really going to have to hold this game down for them. But I still see on the offense that they're looking for another big day from that third year. I think he's a third-year player, Tyler Boyd, who's leading the Bengals with 249 yards in receiving.
Right.
I think this is one of those games where they both want to establish a running game, but having both QBs are going to end up throwing for 400 yards.
I agree with that. It's going to be another one of them shootouts, which is going to be an exciting game. Let's move along, Chris. What else you got?
All right, after that, let's go. Let's talk the Browns and the Raiders. The 0-3 Raiders, man. That's John Gruden, the savior, not getting it done yet.
Now, nobody said that John Gruden was the savior. Who said he was the savior? Is that something you're just saying?
Maybe, but how much are they paying him?
They're paying him $100 million over 10 years. But as we talked on the show,
he better be the savior if he's getting paid $110 million.
He was paid to go to Vegas. That's what he's paid for. Get your players together. Work on building that roster up for 2 years so you hit Vegas with a splash. He wasn't paid to come into Oakland and be the savior. He was paid to build a team and get that team ready and have a big splash, just like that hockey team did when they started up in Vegas. That's what he was paid for. They're building that roster up.
How do you think he'll do against Baker Mayfield this week?
He's not going to do very good. Nobody's going to do very good against Baker Mayfield. That guy's got a freaking what we call the red rifle. When we say red rifle, we were talking about Dalton. You want to talk about a rifle? That guy is like target practice, 200 yards out, hitting the bullseye. That Baker Mayfield's the real deal. There's no doubt about that. So I don't see any defense doing very good against Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield's going to have his days. You just better hope that you can match those points.
With that, Baker Mayfield came in the second half, or in the second quarter, end of the second quarter, to take over that game for a hurt Tyrod Taylor. The Browns hadn't won in 635 days, but John Gruden hasn't won in like 3,615 days or something like that. He hasn't won in 9 years.
Hey, let me pump the brakes here. Wait a second. What'd you say? The Browns haven't won since when?
The Browns hadn't won in 635 days.
I thought you said haven't. You said hadn't. That's past information right there. We're going for a winning streak.
Yeah, we're going for a winning streak. But
don't go to the Cleveland's past. Let these guys come out of that dark shadow.
No. I'm going. The point I'm trying to make, John, is Gruden hasn't won a game in 9 years.
Gruden hasn't won a game in 9 years. You're going back in his past. This is a Super Bowl champion coach right here.
Yeah, but that's in the past, right? We're talking now.
You're right. We're talking right now. We're talking about how many wins he's got this year. 0. So he's 0. What is he? 0-3?
He's 0-3, and he doesn't make the playoffs.
Yeah. Okay.
And the Browns are 1-1-1, and they're not going to make the playoffs either. You look at Mayfield, and Mayfield is probably my favorite rookie quarterback this year. I hate Darnold, and I'm not impressed with Allen. We're going to see the kid from the Cardinals go this week too, which will be interesting. But there's not a lot of film other than college film on Mayfield out there. Defenses are going to start to figure him out a little bit. But I do like Cleveland's defense keeping him in games, and I do like Cleveland, winning some games this year, getting them to around that 7-8, 6-9 record. I do see him winning some games, but not going, 2 or 3 wins. But I think teams are going to start to figure out Mayfield and be able to plan their game plan around him. and that's going to hurt them in the long run.
They ain't had nothing to figure out yet with Mayfield. I'll tell you this right now. Like I said, you can figure out any game plan you want with Mayfield. But from what I saw, first of all, I told you this. I watched Hard Knocks on HBO. I've seen Baker Mayfield throw his first reps. I know what's up with this Baker Mayfield. The guy, I don't care how much you plan for it. When you can thread a needle and you can bring it in there, line drive passes and throws, Brett Favre looking passes when Brett Favre was in his prime. I don't care how you plan against that. The ball's going to be there on the numbers. All they got to do is catch it. Run your route, and the ball's going to be there. So you can plan all you want against a quarterback like this. As long as you're going to get that Baker Mayfield week to week, that this guy can shake and jive a little bit, or I call it shake and bake to the left, to the right, and he can rifle that ball in there. Pretty hard to plan against a quarterback like that. Nobody's been successful against the greats.
Yeah. I mean, you're going to see Baker Mayfield making those plays, but
let's ask Rocco what he thinks about Baker Mayfield. Rocco, what do you think about this Baker Mayfield? Is he the real deal? Did you get enough? Did you see enough in him, Rocco, from what he did? Rocco says he believes he's the real deal. Can you hear Rocco?
He's the #1 pick overall. Everybody thinks he's the real deal.
Can you hear Rocco? Is he picking up on your mic?
Right now.
What's up, Chris?
What's going on, man? How you doing?
Good.
Congrats on that win last Thursday or on Sunday night.
That was a shocker.
Yeah, it didn't do my fantasy team any good either.
Yeah, but Rocco didn't go with Detroit. Remember, homeboy team here didn't go with Detroit.
Yeah, you know what? That was the smart decision. You know, nobody went with the Bills either. I do have Kerryon Johnson in my fantasy team, but he was on my bench, so he didn't do me any good.
Hey, I have Jared Goff sitting on my bench.
Yeah, you know what? Who'd you start instead?
Andy Dalton.
The Red Rifle.
Yeah.
You know, I don't think that one's going to work out for you there.
As long as he gets me 2 or 3 touchdowns and some yards.
Yeah, I mean, I had Matt Ryan last week who scored almost more points than the other guy's team in total did. So it's, you know, that the thing that Dalton has going for him, this game is going to be a high scoring game. So
right.
and they have Bernard as their running back. They don't have Mixon, so that gives them, they're going to be throwing the ball a lot today.
Right. Yeah, it should be a shootout.
Rocco, what do you think right here with Chucky? You heard us talking back there. What about Chucky 0-3? Chris is trying to call Gruden not winning at 9. He wants to go way back and say he hasn't won in 9 years.
3,591 days since Gruden had a win.
Rocco said he's not going to win today either. Rocco, talk to me about this. Chris is saying that basically Baker's not going to have the year we're thinking. But from just the little bit you saw Baker Mayfield, what do you think about this guy?
Just a cannon.
A cannon.
First and foremost. I think he gets it out of his hand in under 2 seconds.
Wow.
And it's an accurate cannon.
Yeah.
It's an accurate cannon. And watching that game the other night, that's what really surprised me is how accurate he was with those passes.
And he has a lot of weapons. You know, all of a sudden, Njoku caught those couple balls. That's a good tight end. Just Tyrod Taylor just never wanted to give him the ball. You know, go right on down the line. They got 4 or 5 playmakers there.
So John, since we have Rocco there, you want to go make our picks for week 4?
Yeah, let's finish up this game and we'll run through them. We'll get Rocco to pull up a chair and he can just. Rocco likes to call himself he's got a radio face. He's really actually a good-looking guy. He's a little bit shy of the camera. One of these times, though, we'll slip him in here and we'll get him on there. You guys will see. He's the Italian stud over here. But we'll get him to so he can sit down for a second. That way we'll pick him up on the mic good, and we'll run through them. Let's finish up here real quick with this with the Cleveland Browns game. And I think for sure whatever we're talking about here, they're not even pulling up stats. Really, I tried pulling up stats and nobody's really caught up to the fact that we got Baker Mayfield in there yet. But I basically, just to finish off this, I think that Baker Mayfield is going to take off right where he was from last week. We're going to see an exciting game, and he's going to be the talk of the NFL. He's definitely going to be the talk of the NFL after he shows us what he's going to do against these Raiders. I want to real quick, before we start running this down, what I really want to do, Chris, is I want to get our producer Dave over there to work with me here and get everybody on cue, knowing how they can get involved with our show, and which is important for us. So if you have not yet liked us on Facebook, you can go to Facebook and find Leepa Live on Facebook. Find us at Leepa, Leepa Live. You can find us on Facebook and like us on Leepa Live on Facebook. That way you can keep up to date with everything we have going on with Facebook. You can also find us on YouTube. So if you have not done that yet, you can go to YouTube. Find us on YouTube at Leepa Live on YouTube. Subscribe to us on YouTube. You do that, and you're going to also be able to keep up with a lot of other videos that we have that we're going to do with you. And that's going to be another great way for you to keep up with us. And we'll be pumping a lot of things as the season goes on through that. The best way, so you can watch us at the YouTube channel. The best way to watch this program, where you're going to get all the perks and all the extras coming your way, is to watch us on LeepaLive.com. That's the best way to watch the show at LeepaLive.com. You'll find a subscribe button on the LeepaLive.com page. If you subscribe to us, that's the best way to get involved with the show. You're going to be able to call into the show, and once you call into the show and you get the direct line into the show, that's when you're part of the show as a fan, and you know what this show's all about. This is from the fans' point of view. This show is for the fans. That's what we are. That's what we intend this show to be. We are the fans, and you know what, Chris, I've said it many times before, fans are the ones that have the passion in this game. Fans are the ones wearing their heart on their sleeve for their favorite teams. Fans are the ones that are going to get deep down into it. They're going to talk passion about sports. So I just wanted to put that out there for everybody. And if you're wanting to check out the program, whichever way you're watching it, make your way to LeepaLive.com so you can register with us at LeepaLive.com, and you can become part of this great show that we have going on. We're excited about this season evolving with all our fans.
You know, it's funny, John. I was talking to a friend of mine out in San Diego. He's a college buddy of mine, so that was 20-something years ago. And he said, I'm just a casual fan. I'm not what you're looking for. And I was like, no, that's exactly what we're looking for. You've been a fan for 20 plus years. You live in LA now, and you've been a Chargers fan since you were in college. And we went to college in Boston. I'm like, you're exactly what you're looking for. You have season tickets to the Chargers. That's not a casual fan.
No, that's
so Marshall, call in. Call in,
exactly.
Marshall. But yeah,
that's
I mean,
exactly what we're looking for. Hopefully he calls in.
I'm working on him. Some of these guys, they get a little nervous to get on air, and
I know.
I think we've been lucky with the callers we've had that they've been pretty good.
I've got very thick skin, man. I've made a fool out of myself of many, many years, man. So
yeah, it's not the first time, and it won't be the last.
No, yeah, I've got thick skin. I've been making a fool out of myself since the first grade. So I got no problem making a fool out of myself. I'm comfortable doing it too. So, all right, Chris. Now that we got that out of the way and everybody knows how to watch us, let's run through some games here.
Rocco, who'd you have in that Rams-Vikings game? We'll take your word for it.
Rocco left the building for a short time.
All right.
But Rocco, he'll be back.
All right. You want to go through the list, or you want to preview another game then?
No, here he is.
All right.
Rocco, he wants to know. Go ahead, Chris.
Who'd you have in the Rams-Vikings game?
Rams.
All right. Let's move on. Let's just go down the list from the 1 o'clock games. I got the Jets at the Jaguars.
Jets at the Jaguars. I'll let Rocco go first.
It's got to be the Jaguars there. Get back on track. Pretty dominating this week, I think.
Yeah. I'm with you on that one. After losing that game last week, they got to get back on track. And I think the Jets stink. I just really do. I'm not a fan of Darnold at all. And the Jets are probably the Jets and Bills will be fighting for last place in the NFL this year.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think we're going to see the true. Now, when you said to me about a rookie quarterback and teams figuring them out, and when we were talking about Mayfield, I think basically you're going to more see that as we did with Darnold, who looks like he's running away from a raging bull coming after him when those eyes go wide and he's trying to do something. I think that's what you're going to see as far as teams figuring out, hey, if you can push the Darnold outside of the pocket, you got a real issue. He's hanging onto that ball a little too long. Versus Mayfield that's going to fire it. So Jets at the Jags. I'm also going with the Jags. Chris, are you marking these down for us?
Of course I am.
Good. All right. So, Chris, who are you taking?
I'm taking the Jags. The Jets are not a good team.
All right, all the way across the board then. We're all taking the Jags on that one.
I want to touch on one thing you said there, John, where you were talking about them figuring out Darnold. The reason they're able to figure out Darnold already is because he does not have as good a supporting cast as Cleveland does with the wide receivers, the running backs, and a good D.
And he doesn't have the accuracy with that rifle that Baker Mayfield does. So, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along here, Chris. What are we doing?
We could talk the rest of the 35 minutes about this next game. Dolphins at the Patriots.
Yeah. Go ahead, Chris. I think we know who you're picking here.
I'm on to Indy.
Huh?
I'm already on to Indy. I'm already on to the Thursday night at Indy. We beat Miami. It's not even a close game.
You're taking the Dolphins?
No, we beat the Dolphins.
Hey, Chris, what are you wearing today?
Tom Brady.
Can you give us a little view of that jersey? Oh man.
Yes, I am sucking my gut in.
Dude, I tell you what, you ought to put out like a number 79 or something to line up as a defensive end, man.
No, I started.
Football player today. You got shoulder pads on?
No, I started with a new trainer. She's much better than my old trainer.
Yeah. Okay, all right. How'd that training session go?
Dude, I might drop my old trainer and go with her. She's good.
Yeah. I heard you stood the trainer up on Wednesday, though. What's up with that?
Yeah, my old trainer didn't tell me he had somebody covering.
Yeah, right. Well, there's always somebody covering when it comes to the fitness. You know that.
All right, I got the Patriots in that game. We know that.
You got the Patriots in that game. Rocco, who you taking?
Patriots by a slim margin.
You hear that? We got dogs in the house.
I heard the dog. I'll translate what the dog said for Rocco. James White.
Yeah, we got Mario that just pulled into the house. Mario's he's Rocco's brother, and he's brought his specialty spaghetti sauce here. It's going to be an Italian Sunday over here, over at the Primo house. Mario, chime in and say hello here with your special sauce.
What up?
So Mario's got some stats as well, man, and I'll tell you this right now. The guy can make some spaghetti sauce, okay? So we're going to have a football Sunday here today, Chris.
I'm a little bit jealous.
You should be jealous, man. I'm telling you, man. It's going to be something else. So, Rocco, he didn't hear your pick when you were walking away.
No, he has the Patriots. I'm waiting on yours.
Oh, you heard his?
Oh, yeah, he picked the Patriots. Patriots by a few.
Yeah, he did, but did you hear what he said about it?
By a few. Not by a large margin.
He actually said by a slim margin.
So the question is, am I going to go up a game on you here, or are you going to stick with the Patriots?
You know what I'm gonna do here? I'm gonna go ahead and make the right pick. Okay. The Dolphins coming into the New England Patriots home field are gonna slap with a capital S. Matter of fact, put the cap locks on and go all caps on this. Slap. They're gonna slap the New England Patriots in this game, and this is another episode here for the New England Patriots coming unraveled. They're like a roll of yarn, and the cat's swatting it across the room. New England Patriots are coming unraveled. You want to see Tom Brady throw his helmet so hard it breaks? Watch this football game. He's going to be over there on the sideline screaming at everybody, and they're going to look at him and say, "Yo, get out of my face, pal." So this could be another one of those. I'm taking the Dolphins over the Patriots. Let me make a shortcut. Dolphins over the Patriots.
John, I understand why you're taking that pick. You know, the Patriots are ripe for the picking right now. They haven't lost 3 games in a row since 2002. They haven't lost to the Dolphins at home since 2007, I believe.
And the Dolphins are only 3-0, right?
Here, hey, we're getting a call in here. Let me get this.
That's done.
Hey, you're live on Leepa. Who we got?
2 weeks ago, we didn't look good on defense, and we went to Jacksonville, spit the bit. We went to Detroit, spit the bit. Now we're home to the Dolphins, who are 3-0. This is not good.
Who's on the phone?
Dave, can you hear
from
John?
The parking lot in Foxborough.
Dave, what's up, bud?
Hey, man, how you been?
I'm good. How about you?
We're doing all right. Having a great tailgate. The weather's unbelievable here. We got sunny and 70. Not a cloud in the sky. Parking lots are open. Grills are cooking. It's unbelievable.
Dave, are you in the parking lot?
We're in the parking lot of Foxborough.
Nice. So I'm sorry to cut you off. I just had to, put a face to the boys here. Go ahead. Tell me again about what you're thinking about this game today.
Well, I mentioned to you a couple weeks ago, we did nothing on defense, and it's showing, unfortunately. We win a home game against Houston. Obviously, they're not what we thought they were. We go to Jacksonville, get slapped around. We go to Detroit and get slapped around. I know you're a Detroit guy. Congratulations. But, man, yeah, it's just brutal. We added nothing to this defense, and you're going to have to bring some players in, or we got to win via shootout. So you got to hope Josh Gordon.
Today, Dave, you got the Dolphins 3-0 coming into town with a little attitude.
With an attitude, a defense that's stopping teams. And if you look at their offense, the scary part for me is they're playing dink and dunk with Tannehill with some speed. The kid running around the end with the touchdown and these bombs. Scary, scary thought for the Patriots today.
Who are you taking?
You're looking at a 7-point line right now. If I'm 7 points and I'm in Vegas, I'm putting a house on Miami.
Wow.
I think you're right. I think, Dave, I think the Patriots are kind of ripe for a loss here, just losing the last 2 games.
Whoa!
No, listen. The Dolphins they're playing their best football right now. We'll see how that goes throughout the rest of the season.
Am I hearing this right?
You got to let me finish, though. They're ripe for the picking, but this is the kind of game where the Patriots step up and they take control of their season and get it back. When people start going, oh, Brady's done, Belichick's done, Kraft doesn't know what to do, this is when the Patriots kind of go, all right, it's time to get things done, and they go put up 45 against the Dolphins. I really believe that this is the game where, hey, we know we're getting Edelman back next week. Josh Gordon looks like he's going to play in this game. That's going to help Gronkowski out in the passing game. So it gives them that one more weapon on offense. I do agree with
I
Dave.
heard they were going to put cocaine in his mouth guard so he could get on the field.
I'm sure somebody will be reporting that this week, but Davey's right. This defense is not as good as it needs to be. We're going to win games the offensive way again, and we need to get that defense tighter.
I couldn't agree more.
Give me your take on this game.
That's the thing. The defense, they can be run on. They can be run on all day long. And if team starts a key on that, it's going to be a long year. Kenny Craig's no joke. They just got to get him the ball.
We say that Detroit's defense kind of stepped up in that game on Sunday night. I disagree. I say it was the Detroit offense that stepped up in that game and kept Brady off the field so that they couldn't score points. And when Brady was on the field, he couldn't get into rhythm and he couldn't score touchdowns and he couldn't complete passes.
Dave, talk to me, Dave. Give me the rundown on this game, Dave.
Chris has it on the nose, man. I mean, it's not about offense, it's not about defense, but about team here. And bottom line is, Pats don't have it. I mean, don't have the weapons on offense, and defensively, that's going to be a struggle. Nothing is going to help with a pass rush right now. They've got nobody. and you're banking on and you're banking on guys playing safety and corner that either haven't done it, or if they've done it poorly. And this does not look good for the Patriots.
When you're talking like this, those are great points. How in the world is Brady going to make it through these games? This guy can't shake and bake. He can't move around in that pocket very well. If someone smells blood like I know they do on him, you got to hope that Brady's had enough. First of all, Josh Gordon, Brady doesn't have time to throw deep. He doesn't have time.
I'll tell you what, first 10 throws today, I'd be shocked if any of them go past 5 yards. He's going to have to explore the underbelly. He's going to be throwing to James White. He's going to be dropping it off to Gronk. He's not going to go downfield. But if he can get a few of those completed, there's a chance he could open up with a go route, get Gordon deep, but maybe 1 or 2 looks, maybe at most. Again, 7-point spread, I put the house on Miami.
And what I'm looking in this game is to see what Sony Michel can do. The Patriots haven't been able to use him the way they want to use him, which is running left, right, and down the middle. And they just haven't been in the lead. He's facing 7 to 8 men in a box like 60% of the time. So it's hard to run like that when they're sticking everybody in the box like that. So if they can get a lead with the passing game, you'll see a lot of Sony Michel touching the ball.
Yeah, you got the Primo brothers over here basically saying you got to find a spot for James White. You got to find a way to get the ball in this guy's hand.
Yeah, I mean, the Patriots are down to James White and Sony Michel, which is usually they have 5 or 6 running backs in the stable that can do it at any given time. They don't have that luxury anymore.
Mario in the background here. Mario, who you taking against the Dolphins at the Patriots?
I'll just go with the #1 rule. Don't go against the Patriots.
I like that guy, and I like his spaghetti, too.
Oh, no. Chris has got a new friend.
Hey, Dave, thanks for calling in. Have a good tailgate and tell everybody I said hi.
Hey,
We'll spread it around. Thanks, boys.
Dave, make sure you get everybody on the parking lot there, leapalive.com, right from their cell phone, man. Tune in.
I'm working it right now, baby. I'm working it.
Is my mom with you guys today?
Have a great time. I want to talk to you next week.
He is gone. All right, so we're going to move on to the Eagles at the Titans.
Eagles at the Titans. Talk to me, Chris.
I'm going first every time?
Yeah, you're in the Tampa Bay studio holding it down. Come on now.
All right. I'll go first. I like the Eagles in this game. Carson Wentz had an okay game last week. He's only going to get better week in and week after week, getting the repetition in, getting his feel back, getting his feet back for the game, getting his footwork back. He's going to start to take control of games. Ajayi's healthy and not healthy, but he's going to play. But he's still a little dinged up. I think that hurts them. But I just, the Titans are what, 3-2-1 right now, which is surprising to me. We'll see what they end up doing.
Rocco, talk to me, bud.
It's going to be Philly by a pretty big margin. I can't see how Tennessee's 2-1. They're one of the worst teams in the league. I think Mariota's a bust. They don't have any playmakers.
Yeah, I look at that, and I think the Dolphins are the worst 3-0 team, and I think Titans are the worst 2-1 team. I have, maybe I'm wrong this season, and just things aren't going to happen the way I thought they're going to happen. But there's a lot of things that I'm surprised at in these first 3 weeks / 4 weeks.
Me too.
Yeah, it is pretty surprising, and it's a lot of it's the teams that you expected to do something that just didn't do something. But that's the way it goes when you start looking at preseason and then acting like it actually counts on something. Until you start that regular season.
John, let me just go over that. I mean, I'm going to go down these games. The Vikings aren't doing what they expected. The Jaguars are average of what they're doing. The Dolphins are a surprise. The Titans are a surprise. The Texans are a surprise on the low end, not winning. Colts I thought would be a little bit better. Lions I think they're a better team than they're showing at 1-3. The Bucks, that is a big surprise to me. Even the Bears are a little bit surprised. I didn't think they were that good.
We didn't expect with the Chicago Bears. The reason why is we didn't expect one decent defensive player
to change the world,
and throw fuel over that team and light them on fire.
Yeah, I mean, and then you look at the Bengals. They're better than we thought they were going to be. The Seahawks are where we thought they would be. The Cardinals are where they thought they're going to be. The Browns are a little bit of a surprise. And then the Steelers are a surprise. The Chiefs aren't a surprise, but I don't know that I expected them to be 4-0 and be so electric as they are.
All right, so I'm going with the Eagles as well. Mario, now that you're right here on the show, man, what do you got, man? Eagles or the Titans?
Eagles all day.
Mario's going Eagles all day long. You might as well throw Mario up on the stats, too.
All right, I need a Jets-Jag pick for Mario.
Mario, Jets against the Jaguars.
The Jets have no chance. Jaguars.
Got it.
All right, so now you've got all the initials on it. You got a J on the page, you got an R on the page, you got an M on the page. I'm sure you're using a highlighter for your picks.
you got that exactly right, baby.
Yeah, I know what you do.
And I write them in pen.
You write them in pen. Oh, all right.
All right, let's move on. This is, I think, going to be a good game at the Texans at the Colts.
All right, then let's move along. Texans at the Colts. Chris, go right ahead and lead it.
This is the battle for the bottom of the AFC South. I think the Texans take this one. The Colts haven't really shown that they can throw the ball more than 5 yards at a time. There was talk about when they put Jacoby Brissett in at the end of that game last week. I had no problem with that because Brissett has a cannon of an arm where he can throw it 70 yards. And why would you risk having Andrew Luck throwing a bomb and hurting his shoulder? And not that,
I didn't agree with that one bit. I thought that was garbage right there.
Well, he's having problems throwing the long ball right now. You can't have that guy hurt his shoulder and have Jacoby Brissett be your starter.
He threw the long ball right out of the back of the damn end zone.
Yeah, he did throw it too far.
He threw it.
Yeah, but Colts have to have Andrew Luck throwing the ball 20 to 25 yards at a time.
Hey, Andrew Luck can throw the ball. Trust me, he wouldn't be starting in the NFL. Then you bring somebody up to question his arm strength. That wasn't a very smart move as far as I'm concerned. You're going for a Hail Mary anyway. So you're going for a shot in the dark to score a touchdown. And you bring some quarterback in, and he threw it in the stands.
All right, but what happens if Andrew Luck gets hurt trying to throw that ball?
He might get hurt reaching for the toilet paper roll and fall off the end of the toilet.
Then Jacoby Brissett should be starting if that happens.
Yeah, he just might. So all right then, let me catch back up here where we are with this Texans Colts. Chris, with that being said, who you taking?
Texans. I think the Texans get back on track.
Rocco, what do you see here, bud?
They both need to win, but I think just solely based on the Colts defense, the way they've been playing at home, we have to go with the Colts.
Mario.
Yeah, I got the Colts too. I think the Texans defense is overrated right now. They're in trouble.
Yeah, and you know what? Now you're talking to the boys over here now that used to play Billy Sims over the bushes in the wintertime. Let me tell you right now, we're all going Colts. We know what it's like when we used to line up against each other on defense and try to go over the top. And nobody's going over the top on this home team defense this morning. Wait till they get goal line. And Andrew Luck is going to have his game today. Game of the season. You want to know why? Because he got yanked. Last play of the game. He got yanked. Watch what happens with Andrew Luck today. No more nice guy. No more Mr. Nice Guy.
I got 2 words for you. For all of you. Deshaun Watson.
Yes.
Deshaun Watson. That's your 2 words.
That was my 2 words. That's all I need to say.
That's your 2 words for us.
That's my 2
we're
words.
We're supposed to break bread over that 2 words that Chris gave us while we're eating this skinny. And it's Deshaun Watson?
That's all I got.
That's
all I got. That's all I need.
Talk about defenses figuring out a quarterback. That's what happened there.
Yeah, we need him to come back to what he was playing before he got hurt. They hadn't figured him out last year.
Yeah, well, we don't need to talk plural on that. We don't need nothing. You picked him. You need him to do that.
Yeah, that's true. This is where I gain ground.
All right. Well, you know what we got all the way down the line over here in the Primo house. We got the Colts. You're taking the Texans. Let's move along.
How about the Bills against the Packers?
Bills and the Packers. Chris, lead it.
there is no way the Bills come off upsetting the Vikings and then play Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers and beat them as well back-to-back weeks. There is no way that happens. Bet the house on that.
There's no way that happens.
Bet the house on that.
You'll bet the house. You're tempting me right now, Chris. I love when you buy me groceries. You are tempting me, but isn't it crazy when you look at right now and you look at the Packers and you're seeing 1-1 and 1? Who saw that one coming?
You know, Aaron Rodgers having that bum knee, that could be trouble for them.
I think Aaron Rodgers, he looks lost without Jordy. That's the problem.
He's still got receivers there in Cobb and Adams, but I really think his knee's going to be the story of this season for him to see what he does.
So you're taking the Packers all
I'm taking the Packers. There's no chance the Bills go into Green Bay and win.
Rocco, talk to me.
I agree with all that, but I think this is the perfect time to get the running back, that Aaron Jones. He's going to take so much pressure off Rodgers. He's not going to have to run around, do a quick dink and dunks for a few weeks till he gets back healthy, and I think they're going to roll.
Yeah, I think you're right. They need to protect him for a few weeks and get him healthy.
Yeah, that sounds good with me, too. I'm going Green Bay Packers on this one. Buffalo, yeah. You know, they're coming with Josh Allen now. I'm excited to see that. I love watching these rookie quarterbacks get their shot. And I tell you what, it was really, really a great draft year for the rookie quarterbacks. These rookie quarterbacks look pretty damn good. It's one of those drafts we'll be talking about for years to come, I think, with this quarterbacks that came out in this year's draft. So that's going to be fun to watch it just to see what this rookie does. He surprised the hell out of me hurdling players last week. I mean, that was it's like, wow. It's not just that he just did it. It's the mentality. A quarterback rolling out and then running it and then hurdling somebody. I liked seeing that. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, but they don't have enough to beat the Packers at home. No way. Who did Mario have on that?
I'm taking the Packers at home. Mario, what do you got on this game?
It might come down to who has the better kicker, really. I did coin flip for me on that one.
Mario's calling a tight game and saying it's going to come down to the kicker.
Hey, if there's ever a year to take a tie as the pick, this would be it, right?
You got that.
Does he get 2 points if he gets a tie?
He gets a half point if he gets a tie, I think. Right?
No, I think he gets 2 points if he picks a tie. Maybe even 16 points if he picks a tie.
What's the weather there in Green Bay today?
I don't know. They're wearing winter hats up in Detroit.
Chris, you got your intern in the studio today?
I do not. She's at a softball game, and they're actually losing 4-0 in the first, according to Game Changer right now. But they won their first.
You're actually getting stats of your daughter's softball game while we're on air.
Yeah, I'm watching it on a Gamecast through Game Changer. It's pretty cool.
You're kidding me.
No.
Chris, man, I got to tell you, man, I'm impressed, man. You've come a long way in a short time.
You know, it's tough for me not to go to my daughter's game, but work calls, so I got to go to work.
Yeah, I'm sure that would have been that's a big game to miss there.
Let's
anyway,
see.
we all got our picks on that. Everybody across the board going with the Green Bay Packers. Now let's move on to a game that really matters over here at the Primo House. We are broadcasting to you from the Detroit area today. Let's go to the Detroit at the Dallas Cowboys. Chris?
I like what the Lions did last week, and I'm going to stick with them.
Oh, now you're a Detroit Lions fan.
I've always agreed that they're going to win 10 to 12 games this year. Just not
You also agreed that I was out of my mind last week when I picked Detroit to slap your boys in the mouth.
You know, you look at the Cowboys, they don't have an offensive line right now. You stop Ezekiel Elliott, Prescott's got to beat you, and 9 times out of 10, he's not going to beat you.
Where is Ezekiel Elliott this year?
Their offensive line's horrible. They got 2 guys I think it's on the left side. They're both out, and they can't run the ball, and they can't be.
He was trying to run the ball. He wears those half shirts, and he came around the defensive end there, and I saw a jelly donut fly out of his belly button. I said, I don't know what's going on with Elliott.
So who are you going to take in that game?
Chris, are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious right now? What's Detroit's record right now?
Records don't mean anything. I'm just.
Oh, they do mean something when you're giving me crap every day you see me. Oh, your chop on me every time you see me is, oh yeah, you know what? John picked the Lions to go 13-3. I'm still in the game, baby.
You're mathematically in it.
Slaps him in the mouth.
You're mathematically in it, but I was worried about your man crush for Ezekiel Elliott there.
Yeah, right. Listen, ain't nobody with a powder donut around their belly button doing it for me, buddy. I'm just saying, maybe you better quit wearing the half shirt. Something ain't getting it right. It looks like you're puffing up, Ezekiel.
I'm assuming we're going across the board Lions up there.
No, hang on a second here. The Primo boys, they know how to lead the home team to the side of the curve here. They go legitimate football stuff here. And as you saw, Rocky shocked me when he picked your New England Patriots to win that game last week.
Yeah.
So, with me, I am taking Detroit. The reason why I'm taking Detroit for more reason than one, they figured something out, and they figured it out real quick. I like to call him Patty. You call him Patricia, I guess. I call him Patty. In the R-rated version, I like to say he can pat mine. But we're not going that version today. But I'll call him Patty. I think he dialed that deep. What he needed was he needed to face Bill Belichick. That's what he needed. Bill probably walked over in the locker room and said, what the hell are you doing? But that defense is dialed in a little better for Detroit. What I saw happen was Detroit get a little confidence in their running game. When you get a Detroit running game going, Stafford's a quarterback that we talked before about being able to thread a needle and having a cannon and an arm on you. And that's all they needed. They needed to get that offense rolling with a running game. I think those running backs got confidence right now. They're going to say, feed me, just like Ezekiel does the little feed me thing. That's what you're going to see with this Detroit running game today. And they're going to slap this Dallas team who's nothing but a star on a helmet. That's what they got. They got a star on their helmet. They're nothings. They're nobodies. All right, so you're going to see what happens today. Poor Dez, he'll be on his back a lot today. I'm taking Detroit. Rocco?
If the offensive line can play like they did last week, which was outstanding, it's going to be the Lions all day, running the ball right down their throat. But when's the last time they've put together two good weeks?
Rocco!
Offensive play.
Oh, man.
The Cowboys are pretty bad offensively, so if the Lions can run the ball, it's going to be ugly.
I like that. I didn't like the B word in there, but
that's the Lions fan.
You got that right. That is a Lions fan. You get all excited in the parking lot when you're cooking out. You walk inside, and 2 minutes into the game, you're a Lions fan again. Mario, talk to me, bud.
Well, the Lions have a better team than the Cowboys. It's crazy. They have obviously better receivers, better running game, 10 sacks already. Dallas is in trouble, but I think Zeke will still go off. He's what he is, and Lions will win that, though.
You're picking the Lions. Well, I guess you called it right. You got the Lions boys over here. No pun intended with Johnny Lyons on the mic. But you got the Lions boys over here going Lions all the way, Chris.
And I'm with you there, too. So let's move on to our Tampa Bay Buccaneers playing up in Chicago.
Chris, man, I got to admit, man, I leave town, man. I don't know who you are anymore.
Because somebody, excuse me, somebody asked me yesterday if I wasn't a Patriots fan, who would I root for?
Man?
I'd have to go with the hometown team.
The Buccaneers.
I think I would, especially the way they're playing right now. But then if they bring Jameis back in, I might be out.
It's hard for me to see and tell right now because you could be one of the Primo brothers. It looks like you guys all got a problem drinking milk and spilling it all over your chin. But speaking about the Buccaneers, I mean, I don't know if I see a little Kool-Aid stain around your lips. Are you drinking the Kool-Aid?
Yeah, I'm definitely on the Bucs Kool-Aid. I'm definitely on the Bucs Kool-Aid.
I was gonna say it looks
I think we might even see Jameis in this game.
Chris, you really could be over and mix right in as a primo brother over here. I'm telling you right now, you guys all got the exact same look going on today.
You didn't hear what I said, did you?
I heard something about Jameis. Go ahead, tell me again.
I think he might get into the game today.
Chris, seriously. You're either drinking the Kool-Aid or you're drinking warm milk because you're getting sleepy over there. Talking about Jameis getting in the game.
I think we know that Fitzgerald isn't the long-term answer. So if there's plays where they can integrate, put him in and get him some playing time, I think they do it.
Listen, right now with Fitzgerald, the long-term answer. He has been the long-term answer for 14 seasons for a lot of teams. He is the answer. That's why we got him in the game. He was the answer last year, and they put Jameis back in there, and we found out real quick Jameis wasn't the answer. Jameis will get in the game today. You're right. But let me show you what's going to happen. Jameis will end up pushing or fighting with a player that gets knocked out of bounds. Watch what happens. One of the Chicago Bears will come over and talk smack to Jameis, and Jameis will do something stupid on the sideline. His first game back, and that's how he's going to get in the game. He's going to get in the game by doing something stupid on the sideline. Watch that. That's who Jameis Winston is.
I love that idea. I'd like to see it.
That's what's going to happen.
It adds for the drama.
Fit Magic is going to be over there with his beard pounding through his face mask, hitting his receivers. Evans, Deshaun Jackson. You're going to have the tight end come in there. We got Dave. I keep on messing up our tight end. I called him Davis.
O.J. Howard.
Howard. Those two really remind me of each other, so I keep messing up. So, no, it's not going to happen. Buccaneers get this running game going today, take a little heat off of Fitz. And, no, Fitz is going to come and have a dominating game. You know what's happening. You know Mac's going to be blitzing him. So what do you got to do when he's getting blitzed? You got to throw these screens. And Fitz is the man. He's going to get it done today. You'll see that happen.
All right.
While I'm here on the mic and saying it right now, I'm just going to say it right now. Buccaneers slap the Bears in the mouth today.
I agree. The fantasy owners played anyone on the Bucs.
There you go. Mario right there agreeing. Rocco.
It's a tough one. There's a defense wins a lot of games, so if they can get Jordan Howard running the rock a little bit, and that defense shows up like it's been, it could be a long day for the Buccaneers.
And with that being said, you're picking.
I think I'm going to have to go with the Bears.
Oh, Rocco going with the home Bears. Chris, you just admitted that if New England wasn't playing, I know there's fantasy football, but you've got your own fantasy that you get into sometimes. So you just said that your second favorite team, essentially that's what you said. It was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and I see a little Kool-Aid stain. I've never drinking white Kool-Aid before, but who are you taking?
I got the Bucs.
Nice, the Bucs. So we got me, Mario, Chris with the Buccaneers, and Rocco's going with those Chicago Bears, minus Walter Payton.
Hey, Chris, did you see the stats for Khalil Mack individually compared to the whole Raiders defense?
Yeah. I don't remember what it was, but I saw it was outrageous.
One guy. It's amazing how one guy can change a team.
Yeah.
That's shocking to me. And, you know, if it wasn't the Buccaneers right now, I would definitely be with Rocco on this because I've never myself seen one guy, especially a position player like that, come into a defense like that and just scary dominate a team. I mean, that first game he had, the guy was crazy. It was like, wow.
Yeah, typically when you're talking about one player coming onto a team and making such a huge difference, it's going to be an offensive player that can either throw a touchdown, run a touchdown, or catch a touchdown. But Khalil Mack has just taken this Chicago defense and made them that much better.
He did. All right. So we're Buccaneers. Rocco is Bears. Let's move right along here into the Bengals. My brother from another mother, Mr. Andy Dalton. They call him the Red Rifle. Is that right, Rocco? Red Rifle?
Red Rifle, Red Rocket.
The Red Rocket, the Red Rifle. We can go on and on. Chris, talk to me about this one.
I'm taking the Falcons at home in this one.
You're taking the Falcons at home. You got a little man crush on Matty Ice over the last couple of weeks, starting to really bloom.
Yep.
All right, well.
Highest scoring offense.
Highest scoring offense, Mario says. Mario, who do you got here? Bengals at the Falcons.
Cincinnati doesn't have a chance in this game. They're going to be completely shut down. Atlanta's going to score, and they'll probably be scoring tomorrow, too.
Rocco, talk to me.
I think it's going to be a shootout. It's going to come down to the last couple possessions of the game, one way or the other. It's a coin toss, really, to me.
I'm with Rocco. So who you taking, Rocco?
Flip a coin.
Yeah.
Any of the three of you got a coin?
I'll just say Cincinnati.
Going against the grain.
I'm telling you right now, I like that pick.
Atlanta's defense is horrible. One of the worst defenses in the league.
I like that pick that Rocco just made. And I'm gonna tell you something. We're talking. Let me just talk quarterbacks for a second. You know, Matty Ice, they're figuring something out, and the main reason they are figuring something out is because they figured out that hey, we're not getting Julio Jones the ball in the red zone because he's getting doubled down. The only way you can throw the ball is to have you got to throw it like way over everybody's head and expect Julio Jones to make an amazing catch every time. That's what beats him up. And you watch the guy trying to catch these balls crazy, so they figured it out. You know, they got Kelvin Riley now. He's got 4 touchdowns. Julio Jones, 0. Go figure. There is a chance that now you're going to start mixing Julio back into the red zone mix here now because you cannot basically, if you're the Bengals, you're knowing this right now, you get in the red zone, you can't leave this Kelvin Riley alone here. You just can't because you know what's going to happen.
And Austin Hooper's wide open.
They're just taking what everyone's giving them.
So that worries me a little bit. Now to the quarterbacks here. Andy Dalton is exactly – if you look at Andy Dalton and you look at Matt Ryan right now, they're almost exact, similar. They're throwing for Dalton, 860 yards. Matt Ryan, 897, almost exact. 8 touchdowns for Dalton, 7 TDs for Matt Ryan. You're looking at 2 quarterbacks here right now. They're almost exactly the same when it comes to that.
Yeah.
The difference is going to be their receivers. It's going to be their receivers. So I think it's going to be a tight game too. And what I'm going to say about this, I got to go with Rocco on this one. And the reason why I'm going with Rocco on this is because of the defense. He's right. Atlanta Falcons defense. If you take the red rifle here and he's on point today and he's throwing that ball and they can run it. The Falcons are going to get into a shootout. And when you get into a shootout, you don't have a defense. It's going to come down to who has the ball last. That's what's going to happen. It's going to be who has the ball last. When you're in a shootout and it comes down to who has the ball last, I'm going with Cincinnati. So I'm taking the Bengals on this.
That's if A.J. Green stays healthy and can play more than 1 quarter.
Yeah.
That's a big if right there. That's a good shout out right there, Mario.
All right, let's speed things up a little bit here. I obviously had the Falcons. We got Seahawks at the Cardinals. This is one of those games I think is kind of a flip a quarter game.
I think this is one of those games that nobody watches. That's what I think.
I'm going to take the Seahawks and not watch that game at all.
You're going to take the Seahawks and you're not going to watch it.
Yep.
I like that. Rocco, Seahawks at the Cardinals.
This is going to be this rookie's first start.
I got to get Rocco on camera, man.
He didn't look good last week, and Seattle's an angry team right now. I think it's going to be Seattle in a rout.
You're taking Seattle over the Cardinals in Arizona, Rocco.
Yeah, in a rout. It's going to be ugly.
Is it?
Joe, we're gonna have to let you grow a beard and get the goatee going.
I told you, man. You guys are all running with this. I feel a little naked over here, man. I don't know if I can pull that off.
We got a good looking crew, and then we bring you on.
I don't know if I can pull it off. I drink my milk without a napkin.
Yeah, because it just runs down that
on your chin.
scruffy little thing you got there.
Mario over here. I mean, it's just like you guys all got the same gimmick going on here, and I'm telling you, I don't know. I'm feeling a little left out. I gotta admit it. Mario looks like he's ready to go out and put up a hunting camp out here in the deep woods up north of Michigan. He looks like that guy that was on Tool Time picking over the fence.
Mario, did you chop wood this morning?
A little bit.
Keep the fire burning.
Keep the fire burning. So Rocco's taking Seattle to come into Arizona. Mario, talk to me, bud. What do you got here?
This is Arizona's coming out week. Seattle's completely hurt everywhere. I don't even know how they're even playing. Arizona, watch out. That running back they got there is going to go off today.
You're looking for Arizona's running back to go off today.
Yeah, we haven't seen anything from him yet this year, so that's not a bad prediction.
So you're looking for Johnson to finally get the ball and start moving the ball and busting through some of these arm tackles that everybody has. Big day. Nice. So I got to ask this, guys, and you can say, yeah, I'm definitely not paying 100% attention to this. Who's the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals today? Josh Rosen, starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals today. I gotta say this, and here's why I'm gonna pick the Arizona Cardinals. Mario, you're spot on. You're bringing in a young quarterback here. What's the best thing that you can do when you got a young quarterback?
Dump off.
There it is. Dump offs and run the ball. So you got to commit to the run and stick with it. I got to admit it. Mario, you're right on this. Johnson's going to have a great game today, and it's going to be because he's going to carry the weight of the team. You're going to take the pressure off of this rookie quarterback. I'm taking the home team Arizona on this as well.
In a game that no one will see.
In a game that no one will see, yes.
So let's move right on to Johnny's Hard Knocks Browns against the John Gruden haven't won a game in 9 years Oakland Raiders.
You're talking John Gruden hasn't won a game in 9 years. He won a game a few months ago.
When?
He got a $100 million 10-year contract. If you don't call that winning, what is?
That ain't a game. That's real life, brother.
Yeah, that's real life. There's a good reason why. Hey, let me tell you something. Rocco came on our show early season here, and he hit it the nail on the head there. He told you flat out, don't expect much from these Raiders here right now. They're building a team. They're building that team to go to Vegas. They're going to build a roster. That's why they hired John Gruden. They hired John Gruden to build a team, and that team's going to be up and running by the time they get to Vegas. And here's what I'll say about this week. I don't expect John Gruden to be able to beat this Baker Mayfield Cleveland Browns today. I called these Cleveland Browns to go 8-8, I believe. And this is one of the wins I called them to take. Everybody's going to be talking about Cleveland Browns after this game. The 1-1-1 Cleveland Browns got their first win in a half of a century.
Back-to-back win.
Back-to-back. Here it comes. They're going to be the talk of the NFL. Baker Mayfield, the guy, everybody read him wrong. Half of the NFL teams, I don't want this guy, he's cocky. They didn't realize that this is exactly the guy you want to be that way. He's the right kind of cocky when he's in this huddle. He's directing the team. He's telling these guys, come on, guys, let's go smack these guys in the mouth. Let's get some points here. He's the guy I want in my huddle. This is the best, I'm telling you, I'm going to call it. This is the best rookie quarterback that we've seen drafted in a long time. I'm calling that. The Browns go into the Raiders, slap them. Everybody's talking Baker Mayfield after this game.
Have you heard of Andrew Luck?
Yeah, I've heard of Andrew Luck.
He's a pretty good quarterback.
I know he's a quarterback. Are you saying that he was the best rookie quarterback taken in a long time, and that I forgot about him when I said Baker Mayfield's the best one in a long time?
Yes,
Well,
that's exactly what I'm saying.
But the only difference is this. Andrew Luck gets in a huddle. He's like, hey, guys, how you doing today? Let's go down here and score some touchdowns and score some points. You know.
But I can only throw it 5 yards, so don't go too far.
Yeah. All right. I'm taking the Browns on this game, smacking the Raiders in the mouth. Rocco.
I'm taking the Browns also. It's going to be because of the Browns' defense.
And I like it. Mario.
I'll take Cleveland. I agree with you, John. The quarterback, he's fired up, and it works for Brett Favre.
He's a winner.
You're seeing a Brett Favre look like too, Mario.
All right. All four of us have the Browns there, and I think we're gonna.
Doesn't that say something in itself?
Yeah.
That in itself says something. All right, Chris, moving along.
I think we're gonna have sweep here. I got the Saints against the Giants at New Jersey. I'm taking the Saints. I'm Drew Brees all the way right now.
You're taking the Saints that look like they finally are being what everybody predicted them to be prior to the season started. Some people actually picked the Saints as Super Bowl favorites prior to the season started.
Sure.
So Saints go into New York. It doesn't seem like the Giants have figured out how to protect their quarterback very well. And unfortunately, that's a hard game to play when you can't protect your quarterback. And their defenses have been looked at great. Rocco, New York is hosting the New Orleans Saints.
I think the Saints can go in there with Breeze, Michael Thomas, and Kamara and beat the team. Saints are going to roll them.
Saints are rolling them. I'm taking the Saints as well. Rocco has Chris.
Saints.
Saints. We've all taken the Saints over the Giants. I'm sorry, Giants. I expected you to be better, and I'm going to be a little sad when I look at my overall picks before the season started. Because I really picked the Giants this year to do something.
And Mario had the Saints there too, right?
I'm going to take the Saints, and fantasy-wise, Kamara and Beckham Jr. is just going to go off. He's going to have crazy stats today.
Chris, do you like what you heard there?
I do. I have Kamara, so I do like that.
And he said fantasy-wise, give you a little bit of a teaser here. Looks like we might finally start to be putting together a fantasy show. So get ready, Chris.
I'm always ready.
We might be finally starting to be adding another show to the Leepa Live channel, a fantasy show. So stay tuned for that.
49. I stutter because baseball playoffs are coming up.
Yeah.
Real soon.
What do you got here, 49ers at the Chargers?
Chargers at home, 49ers without Jimmy G. Not going to happen.
You're taking okay. Rocco?
I think it's going to be hard for San Francisco to score some points without Garoppolo. It's going to be ugly. Chargers.
Rocco says Chargers. Mario.
If the Chargers don't melt down like they usually do, it'll be the Chargers winning this game.
Yeah, unfortunately, you look at these Chargers all the time, and it's like they're playing this great game in the last 2 minutes of the game, and they're always trying to. It's like they're always there at the end trying to do it. Man, it's painful to watch. But yeah, Chris, you throw all this money in this Garoppolo, who actually played 5 games. I just didn't get it. I never understood how in the world did this guy. Where was the information? He played 5 games, and if everybody talks about the New England Patriots the way they do, including their coach and other people that say that it's not the quarterback, it's not the player, it's the system. But then you get this backup quarterback, and you pay him all this money that was playing on the system. I never got that, but now you don't got him in San Fran, and I'll tell you right now, looks like you're in trouble. You might have to bring the fro that's not under control back. You know,
He didn't look good when they had him either.
That ain't happening.
Rocco, did you hear that? What Rocco just said?
He wasn't any good when he was there.
Looked good when the Patriots had him.
When San Francisco had him.
He
didn't look good.
No,
You know?
I agree with that.
Gabe, welcome to the show, buddy. I'll tell you what, we got someone else here on the show. Gabe, if you're looking at the San Francisco against the Chargers, who would you take? Gabe says he's taking the Chargers. Why? Huh? Flat out, he said the Chargers are a better team. He's going Chargers too. I'll tell you right now, I'm taking the Chargers at home to slap it down to San Francisco with the flower in their ear 49ers. Moving right along. Chris, who you got?
Sunday night game, Ravens at the Steelers.
Ravens at the Steelers. Wow. How about this game?
That's going to be a fun game to watch. It'll be interesting to see. The Steelers are scoring a lot of points, and so the Ravens are a team that's Flacco's scoring 2 or 3 touchdowns a game. I got the Steelers in this, though. I think they've kind of gotten back to their winning ways. I think their locker room is dysfunctional, but they've got too many playmakers on that team not to win.
Fair enough. Let's scoot right over to Mario on this one.
I think Flacco. I think it's going to be a shootout. Flacco's going to absolutely go off. And who knows with Bell? He's back, right? No, he's not back yet?
No.
Good luck.
So with that being said, you're going to take the Ravens on the road?
Yeah.
Nice pick there. Rocco.
This is another tough one, but at home, Ben's a whole different player, so mix that in with prime time, almost a must-win game. Steelers.
Yeah, I like Mario's pick. I want so bad to do that right now. I do not like Pittsburgh. Here's the thing. Ben, to me, is a week-to-week player. Now, he's a tough guy. I get it, and I know it. But he's had to do a lot of work on his legs. Surprisingly, he's done it. But I just don't see him holding up, and he usually doesn't anymore these last several years. And it's like I'm right there because it's any play now, Ben's going to be sitting out on the sideline, and I'm kind of waiting for that to happen because of what he's showing me over the last several years. Yeah. At home, though, with the Steelers at home, and Ben still has the deep ball. He showed it off last week. Ben does. He still does have that deep ball that scares me. He's got Brown there to catch it. And Brown, man, he came out last week, and I have to go with the Steelers on this, being that they're at home. I think it's going to be a shootout, but at the end, I'm giving it the home field advantage on this. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I think it's a huge day for both teams fantasy-wise for the tight ends. Big day.
There we go again, a little fantasy cue. I like what's happening here where Mario's bringing in these fantasy things to the table. I really like it. Chris.
I'm sorry, who did Rocco have?
Pittsburgh.
Rocco's taking Pittsburgh. He's taking home field. He's not just because they're home, right, Rocco?
No, it's just a desperate game. Ben's way better at home. I mean, it's part of the reason.
Yeah, I've got Pittsburgh at home too, but I'll help Mario out there. I want Alex Collins to have a monster game for fantasy reasons.
I like this. You guys are throwing the fantasy stats in there. I like this. He's due. This is how we're going to give. I think this is the first birth of our fantasy show that's going to come out. So I like seeing this. We're kind of mixing it in here, and I like it. Let's move right along here with this. You got all our picks there.
I do. We're on to the Chiefs at the Broncos.
Monday Night Football. Real quick before we get into this, how you guys liking the booth Monday night without John Gruden in it?
I'm not a fan of Witten yet.
You're not a fan of Witten, Mario? Have you been watching?
Jason Witten is a train wreck.
I'd rather have him back on my fantasy team.
Rocco, have you heard John Witten yet? Or
Jason? I heard him. I don't think he's too bad. I mean, it's all white noise to me anyway.
Yeah.
The only thing I notice about him is that because you guys that know me know I've done a lot of nerve-wracking live shows. Not so much on doing a live show like this, but I've been on a stage making a fool out of myself several times, and the Witten thing that I notice that he's doing, I can see his nerves, and the reason why is because he's like this, and I'll use Rocco as an example here on what Witten's like. He's up there, and that guy that's on in the booth with them, Witten's like this one. Did you see what he's doing? He's like, he's in his face like he's attacking this guy, and I know what that is when I see it. He's a little bit nervous, and he might be able to shake it off, but I was a much more of a Gruden fan than I am of the Witten fan, and he doesn't seem to be pulling it off as good as a lot of people think that his ex-quarterback Tony Romo did. But
I will say that, sis, I think Tony Romo's doing a really good job on the commentating on his games. He says something, they should do this or this, and the reason they should do this is this, and he's right 95% of the time. Yeah, I mean,
he's a smart quarterback.
He knows his football.
Very smart quarterback.
He knows his football, that's for sure.
Sorry, Chris, cut you off. Chris, you got your hat backwards. Any particular reason why?
Nope. No, not at all. It's just getting hot in here.
That's all right. Appreciate you showing off the eyebrows and the forehead.
I wanted to make sure to get the gray, see what you do, get how to grow the facial hair for you.
I appreciate that. All right, here we go. Monday Night Football. Kansas City Chiefs are at the Donkeys, the Denver Broncos. Chris.
Until somebody beats them, I'm taking the Chiefs.
Pretty smart pick. Gonna scoop right over here to Rocco.
It's going to be the Chiefs, and it's scary to think the points they're putting up, and they haven't even gotten Kareem Hunt involved yet. Chiefs.
That sounded really funny there. You know, that's for the rated R version that I'll come out with. They haven't even got Kareem Hunt involved yet. Mario.
That's probably going to happen today. I don't even see how Denver has anything to stop the Chiefs. They're crazy. Win all day.
I got to go with the Primo brothers on that. And Rocco, a shout out again to Rocco with his impressive analysis, preseason analysis, where he told us the Kansas City Chiefs will be the most explosive offense in football this year. Yeah, he called that, and I jumped right on that. Absolutely called that one. Told us how impressive their quarterback was, that we really didn't get much chance to see him, but damn, he called that one, and damn, he was right. These Kansas City Chiefs are the real deal, and I don't care where they're playing. You can put them on the road anywhere, and it's going to be pretty hard to go against the Kansas City Chiefs. I'm on board. Kansas City Chiefs go in there and slap the Donkeys right on the ee-aw. Chris?
Yeah. I don't see where Denver even competes in this game. I mean, I heard some people were taking the Broncos, but I just don't see it. Their offense is just too powerful.
It is a powerful offense. So.
Excuse me.
Well, I got to give a shout out to you guys before we start checking out here. You guys are holding down the Tampa studio. You know, I've been on the road, New York, Detroit, and basically what I'm doing is what the show was intended to do. This is a show from the fans' perspective. So I've hit the road, and I'm trying to engage, and I'm going right into the homes of our fans. Chris, you did it for us in week 1. You went right into the parking lot of the fans, and so we're getting the show involved in the way that we want to. We're bringing the fans out, and you guys are doing a damn good job. A shout out to the producer over there of the show, Dave, today. Dave's really holding it down for you guys in the Tampa studio.
Yeah, he is, and I just pulled up that Josh Gordon is going to play today. He is not among the inactives.
Wow, Josh Gordon.
Hopefully they use him.
That guy, remember Randy Moss there? That's what's going to happen with him.
You know what? If they can get him to get his head straight, start winning games, and I think the Patriots is a perfect fit for him because they're a disciplined team, and that's obviously what he needs. So if they keep him on football and off his mind wandering, I think he'll be great. I am nervous to see what's going to happen over the next 12 more weeks, whatever we got left.
Well, I'll tell you this right now. If he's not on the sideline shaking like this, that means they put something in his mouthpiece to keep him alive out there. So,
I think adrenaline will put him at about 4.3.
Yeah.
Will Brady have enough time to get him the ball is the question.
Look, you know what? This is starting to light on fire. Yeah. That's what Rocco said. Will Brady have enough time to get him the ball? And that's exactly what I say. Will Brady have enough time to get him the ball? Because you're going to need 3 seconds to get Gordon the ball. You're going to use him deep, right? Or are you going to bring him across the middle?
You're going to use him deep. He's going to open it up for Gronkowski.
Don't they get Edelman back today too, don't they?
No, next week.
Hey, I was forgetting. Rocco and I were having a coffee drink yesterday. Actually, I was having a coffee drink, and Rocky was having something a little bit colder than that. But he basically was talking about the New England Patriots, and he said to him, he goes, out of all sports teams and all franchises and everything, I really dislike the New England Patriots. And he and I had like an old school handshake we hadn't done since 7th grade. And I didn't even know we remembered it. It was this weird stuff like this and like, that. But I was right on cue. them. He said they're the biggest cheaters of everything. And he goes, and look at this guy that's ready to get back. He's another cheater. Now they're getting their cheater back again, huh?
Go back. Can you read my shirt there, John?
Whoa! Chris, it's kind of hard to misread in your shirt. It's like a billboard on the side of US 19, I said.
That's all right. It says they hate us because they ain't us.
Whoa! Talk about being on cue. They hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because they ain't us. With the old school logo with Tom Brady's face on it, baby.
Nice timing there with the shirt there, Chris.
You know, I was read an article today. I guess Jerry Jones has a book or somebody wrote a book about Jerry Jones, and they were talking about Troy Aikman and Jimmy Johnson when they were, winning Super Bowls back then, and Jerry Jones just couldn't get along with Johnson, and they were saying how if those two minds were able to get along together, they would be the Patriots, Belichick, and Kraft of their era.
No doubt about that dominance when it was happening.
So you got to look at that. It's like the Patriots have been able to do this for, what are we at? 18 years now of them doing it. 17 years of them doing it with Brady. It works for them. You know what? They're gonna have their disagreements. They're grown men. They're competitive men, and they play to win the game. So, they're also grown adults, and they're going to get over those issues.
Hang on a second. Joey, come on over here. Joey, all right, the next generation primo right here. Check out this haircut on this dude, all right? Joey, next generation. Chris, Joey is a running back for his football team. And I'll tell you what, man, this guy, Joe, you had a tough week, didn't you? You got bounced around quite a bit, huh? Concussion protocol kicked in on him. Believe that? In Little League.
Wow.
Well, it's actually high school. I shouldn't say that. High school football.
I was gonna say he's a little big for Little League football.
Yeah, Joe. Who are you taking on the Monday Night Football game? Chiefs. Taking the Chiefs. You like them, huh?
Give him a tougher game.
Well, let's just
give him the Ravens Steelers. Ravens Steelers Sunday night game.
No. I'm going to ask him who he's taking in the Detroit game. He's taking Lions. That's a tougher game for you.
That's a hometown hero.
Who's your favorite team, Joe? His favorite team's the Lions. How about that?
Who's his favorite? He's a running back?
Who's your favorite running back? He says Johnson's his favorite running back.
David Johnson?
Carry on.
Oh, Carry On Johnson. I have him in my fantasy, so I hope he does well tonight. It's,
Yeah, buddy.
I hope these guys aren't taking you out later tonight and doing Billy Sims over the bush or whatever it's called.
We didn't teach him. I don't know how. My memories of the Primo Boys growing up is that first snowfall. We were out in our front yards, and if we weren't fist fighting, we were playing Billy Sims.
That was before concussion protocol.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, before phone cameras, phones.
Unfortunately, we didn't have Facebook Live and everything there because I'm telling you, if you would have seen this, Chris, just an example of what it was a bush line, and we charged the line, and basically you tried to hurdle over everybody.
Sure.
Right about the time you got airborne, they were pretty much shooting you up over the bush.
John, I'm pretty sure we're glad there weren't camera phones when we were that age.
Oh, man. Actually, yeah, it's probably a good idea. We had to come in when it was dark, and that's the way it went.
Yep.
But let's get this show wrapped up here. I want to remind everybody on how they watch the show and everything they do. If you have not yet liked us on Facebook, you can go to Leepa Live on Facebook. Like us on Facebook. There's a lot of exciting stuff going on there. Remember what you're going to see on Facebook, too. You'll start seeing those posts from Murphman. I know who's the most popular one on the show. He's usually not involved in our Sunday program, but get ready for that Thursday pick again with Murphman. Murphman is, 4-0 now on his picks? Yeah, he's 4-0, and so am I. I want to grind that in a little bit. There's the Murphman right there. So while you're on Facebook liking Leepa Live, go over to Murphman and like Murphman. He's got more fans than all of us put together. If you want to watch us, there's several ways you can watch us. Obviously, you can watch us on YouTube. Find the Leepa Live channel. You can subscribe to us on the YouTube channel. Smart idea if you want a lot of other programs coming your way very soon. The best way, the best quality to watch Leepa Live is to go to leepalive.com. You'll see the little tab come on the bottom of the screen. Go to leepalive.com. You're going to find the register or subscribe button on that screen. Click that. You're going to fill out a simple form to be part of the show so that you can call in. You can do everything else to get involved with the show, and you're going to be part of the show. It's exactly what we intended. This is a show for the fans. This isn't my show. This isn't Chris' shows. This is our show, the fans. And it's from the fans' perspective. We could, at any given time, have any fan call up and dominate this show. That's what it's about. So we're looking forward to getting a lot more people involved. Who knows where we're going to show up next week? Who knows? Time will tell. Chris?
So my final thoughts for the day is we picked 15 games this week, and we all four of us agreed on 8 of those games, which leaves 7 other games, meaning that we all someone one way or another disagrees. I'm looking forward to see which of those teams, who's right, who's wrong. That's part of the fun of me of picking these games and watching these games is going against everybody else and seeing who's right and who's wrong.
Absolutely. I think what I might end up doing today several times during the day is from the Leepa Live Facebook page. I'll probably go live several times today because this is an exciting day for me. I'm sitting here with the Primo brothers watching Sunday football all day long, eating some of this special Primo spaghetti and sauce. So this is a big deal. This is like, to me, this is like a Super Bowl day for me. So this is exciting football. I'll probably go live several times today on Leepa Live Facebook page. So, Chris, keep tuned for that.
Yeah. Give me a call during the games. I'll be watching them. I mean, I'm definitely have my eyes on the set from 1 to 4 watching the Patriots, but I'll be flipping between the Red channel to the Red Zone channel during commercials.
Awesome.
So I'll be up to date.
Awesome. Once again, I want to tell you guys at the Tampa studio, you guys are doing a great job. Way to hold the fort down, man. Great show today. A pleasure as always. Let's get ready for some football. Oh, by the way, something that was absolutely exciting, completely natural. This show went an hour and a half today, which was scheduled for 60 minutes. There's a good reason why it did. We weren't sitting around. It just had the content. It had the people involved. And I like how this show just naturally went overtime because it was carried over with content. That's absolutely awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching that time when we're doing it, and you know what? It just happened, and that means we're talking good football.
That's exactly what it means.
It's a little bit tougher to do on Thursday.
It's a 2-hour show.
Yeah, it's a little bit tougher to do on Thursday nights, but on the Sunday we got a little bit of leeway time. And we just like talking sports, and we want to talk sports with everybody that's out there, especially football.
Chris, I'll see you back. I think I might be I'm not 100% sure if I'm hitting another town, if they're going to fly me out Monday morning. I'll probably see you in town Thursday, but I can't be for sure. We'll see what happens for the Thursday night games. And enjoy your football today over there.
I hope Murph picks the Patriots next week.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Chris, from Leepa Live, John signing out. Chris, go ahead and close us out over there in the studio.
All righty, go Pats.
Pats, I like it.
Go Pats, that's all I got to say.
All right.
On to week 4.
Close it out. Close it out with the Leepa Live theme. And then mute them mics.
Take care, John.